Hey, what's up everyone? The topic of this video is going to be regarding a couple of things. One of which is the moon energy, and the other is disappearing items. Disappearing items. So, what happened to us recently for the past couple of days, especially since this whole full moon thing that's going on right now? Try to utilize that, by the way, the energy of the full moon. There's just so much. Well, I'll talk about that in another video, but Mama saw this bag. She said that I had dropped this bag of it had some of her medicines, some decongestants, and some various things for us that we would bring along. Some medicines that she takes for different things that she has, some pains going on and all of that. But yet, I mean, she has several things in there that we take: some baclofen and some allergy medicine, some muscle relaxer for pain, and some things like that that she might need and I might need. And you never know. And there's potassium, magnesium, things like that in there. Well, she thought that the bag was just laying there in the floor, that it had fallen. She said, right there. She said it was right in front of her. She said it was wide open, thought I left it wide open with, the bag handles open. And I think I saw something there earlier that evening. Well, she said she was leaving the room. She got up from her chair and she was leaving the room, and she said, well, go ahead and pick that bag up. Go ahead and pick it up so we don't leave it. We don't lose the bag. And I said, there's nothing there. And she had saw it just a few moments before. And I told her, I said, it's not there. And so she walked over there and looked back, and she said, there was a bag there, but it's not now. It disappeared. Well, we go to pick Daddy up from work on Saturday morning. We picked my father up from work. He had come back from just barely missed all those storms, and then they wound up hitting us. Several lines of storms. Well, right after he got there, he couldn't find his medicine bag. It disappeared. And I had stated days before, I wish they understood this disappearing item phenomenon. I said, I wish they understood that. And I wish I hadn't stated that, because it happened. He couldn't find his bag anywhere. He was all upset about it. And, he's a diabetic, and he has medicine for anxiety and for diabetes and for the mood medicine that helps, the anxiety medicine helps with mood and all that. Well, his diabetes medicine and everything, his blood pressure medicine, everything was not it was in that bag. Well, the entire medicine that he needs was not there. It had disappeared. Completely vanished. And he said, you're not going to find it. I said, well, let me look in there. And I got up in the truck and I sat down in his seat, and lo and behold, I looked to the right of me and I said, guess what? He's like, what? And then I said, it was right here. And he went, what? He couldn't believe that it was right there in the seat. It was right in the seat, right next to the passenger seat. And he was in shock, because he just looked there and everywhere. The dogs are having a fit outside. There must be something going on. They're having a fit. They're all crazy right now. So energies are all messed up and heightened. So if you hear the dogs barking outside, the next door dogs, our dogs, they're all barking. The dogs all around the area. But anyway, back to this. His medicine was, boom, back, all of it now. Red's barking in the garage now. Anyway, boom. It was back, and I brought it to him, and he was like, oh my word. Just like the time his this fuel receipt disappeared and reappeared on top of everything by the time he turned back around. Well, now people are always saying, he's always saying, things don't just disappear, even though it happens to him, and it happened to us, and it happened to me, and Mama. People always state something until it happens to them, and then they're in shock. And that's just the way, excuse me, that's just the way people are. Even though he's witnessed a lot of the beings and the creatures and the entities and spirits and all kinds of things that I have, and Sasquatch things, when I'm around, he'll witness a lot of things especially. But, yep, all the dogs are having a fit again. I've got to go see what's going on again. But, back to this, it reappeared. Well, fast forward later this evening, in the weekend, he goes up Nana's, and he stayed the night up there, and at his mother's house, at my Nana, And he stayed up at his mom's house and stayed the night. And then it's a good thing he was there the next day because her furnace was over smoking. The smoke was building up and backing up. Something was wrong, and it was the heater the was all messing up. And there was smoke backing up, and he said you couldn't breathe in the house, so he had to open the doors and air the house out. So it's a good thing he was there to see that. But he called this morning and said my medicine bag's not with me. He said I took the wrong bag. And so why did this shut off when the siren went by? But his medicine bag was not there. He said he looked everywhere in the truck, and he said, I brought Mama's the bag. And I was like, what the heck was it doing in the truck anyway? It went from the Nissan to the truck. It just appeared in the truck. For no reason, it was in the truck, which was unexpected. I don't know how that happened. It's like it teleported. He said, I don't know. He said, I just don't. He said, talk about weird. He said, when I went back to the truck, that bag of his medicine that he brings with him, that I was talking about earlier, was in there, along with Mama's. And he said, for some reason, it was in his bag. Mama's was in his bag, but it was in the truck. And it was like, and he said he thought it was part of his, so he put it in there. But he said it was in the truck when he got there, which made no sense whatsoever. So it's like these items appeared and disappeared and went to different places. And I said, now you know how it feels, don't you? He said, yeah. And I said, see? I said, I've been saying all this time, items disappear. They'll disappear and reappear. And I said, it feels crazy, doesn't it? And he said, yeah, yes, it does. He said, I don't know. He said, yeah, just another crazy day in the neighborhood. He said, another crazy day. And I said, I tell you, it's going to get a lot crazier. It happens to me all the time. My bag of crystals. I so wish I could get my crystals back. And when I say crystals, I'm not talking about like the other crazy people around here. Bag of crystal. Oh boy, bag of crystals. Just being funny here. The bag of crystals. I'm not talking about crystal meth. I'm talking about crystals, actual crystals, stones and things. Early Kyler. Buy meth here on Early Kyler on the Squidbilly show. You'll see right there. It'll say buy meth here right on his door. Crystals, man. I don't know who would do that crap. Whew, man, oh man. Anyway, but back to the topic of what was going on. I just wanted to do a comedy there. It disappeared, and then it reappeared, and then the items switched vehicles, and then you can't find them, they're gone, and they reappear. It's crazy. It is crazy. And I said, now you know how it feels. I said, it's crazy, isn't it? He said, yeah, it's crazy. It's insane. It really is, but it happens. And we deal with it on a regular basis. You know, you and I, all of us, we deal with it on a regular basis, and my parents are experiencing it quite a bit more often as well than they used to. And I said, man, I wish I hadn't stated that I wish you would experience that and understand, because then it happened. But it happened. Anyway, that's just another one of those things. Disappearing items, reappearing other places. I wish my bag of crystals would reappear like I stated, and my crystal pyramid I had in the cabinet. Then I had a newspaper, a reprint newspaper that they had put back out of Kennedy and the Kennedy assassination, and it had the two-seater, just like we remember. It had everything, and it was reprinted, and now it's gone out of the cabinet. Several things have gone out of the cabinet. My space rock that appeared out of nowhere is gone. That was in that bag of crystals, and I had some electronics and a wireless QI charger that I had for my Galaxy S5, and I had some chargers, and I had some things like that in a black pouch that I kept, and I decided to bring some of my crystals and a crystal pendulum and some other things along with me. And I brought it with me, and I fell asleep and in the vehicle, and then by the time I woke up, and I was like, well, I don't feel like bringing everything back in the house. The only thing was there was my suitcase and things that I bring around with me, and I have this portable TV DVD player I've had since 2009 that I keep in there, and a couple of DVDs and some things that I might need, and a little portable antenna, and it wasn't in there. None of it was in there, and I mean the stuff was gone, and I was like, where'd my bag go? And it wasn't there. It was in the back of the vehicle. It wasn't there. Suitcase was there. Nothing else was. Then one day, the little pouch reappears in the house with my chargers and the wireless QI adapter charging pad. But were the crystals in it? Nope. They were all missing. They're still missing. That makes all my crystals, all but one, gone. Another thing is I fell asleep about a week and a half ago out in the Nissan. Shouldn't have done that because I know it usually causes you to be sick. Mama warned me not to do that, but I did. Then I got sick. I got a cold. But here's the thing. I fell asleep out there with my phone plugged up to this black Anker charger, a very heavy charger. And when I did that, I woke up the next morning. It was daylight, and I was like, man, I slept through the entire night. I said, well, I'm not going to bring everything in right now. I'll get it later. Locked the vehicle up, went to the house. When I came back out there, it was gone. It wasn't on the console anymore. It was gone. The charger and the white cord for my phone. Well, fast forward 2 days later, Mama said, is this what you're talking about? It's the cord. It was in her chair. She said, you must have fallen asleep in my chair. And so that must mean that the actual power bank is somewhere. And I said, no, I didn't fall asleep in your chair. I fell asleep on the couch when I got back in the house. Well, here's the thing. It's gone, but the cord is back. And the black power bank is nowhere to be seen in the Nissan. So that's some disappearing item stories. That's all within the past couple of weeks. And the others are from other times. But Daddy's medicine disappeared, then reappeared. All today and yesterday. So, peace, signing out. Disappearing items. It's getting insane. Signing out.